Have you ever wondered what happens when the person holding you captive starts believing your lies instead of the truth? That's exactly where things are headed on The Young and the Restless ***, and the stakes have never been higher. Diane Jenkins Abbott is trapped, isolated, and surrounded by people who want her to give up on the man she loves. But what if everything she's saying is part of a much bigger plan? While Jack Abbott desperately searches for answers, Diane may be preparing the boldest move of her life. And if her gamble works, one dangerous alliance could completely fall apart. Stay with us, because this shocking twist could change everything for Diane, Jack, Patty, and Dr. Markham. The latest Young and the Restless Spoilers suggest that Diane Jenkins Abbott is about to make a life-changing announcement. At first, it may sound like she's finally accepted defeat, but appearances can be deceiving in Genoa City. Diane has proven time and time again that she's capable of thinking several steps ahead, and this latest situation could be another example of her strategic mind at work. Right now, Diane finds herself in an incredibly dangerous position. She remains under the care of Dr. Lawrence Markham, a therapist whose true intentions have become increasingly suspicious. Instead of helping Diane reconnect with her husband and heal emotionally, Dr. Markham has been pushing her toward one very specific conclusion: walking away from Jack Abbott forever. During their recent therapy session, Dr. Markham carefully guided the conversation back to one of the most painful moments in Diane's life. He reminded her about discovering Jack with Patty Williams on the yacht. Rather than encouraging Diane to process the trauma in a healthy way, he suggested that perhaps Jack had been sending a message all along. According to Dr. Markham, maybe Jack wanted out of the marriage and Diane simply refused to see it. That idea immediately raised red flags. It didn't sound like unbiased therapy. Instead, it sounded like someone trying to plant doubts inside Diane's mind. Even more interesting is the possibility that Dr. Markham isn't acting alone. Many fans already suspect that Patty Williams has been secretly pulling the strings behind these therapy sessions. Since Patty appears to be financing Dr. Markham, there's growing speculation that his real mission isn't helping Diane recover at all. His goal may be convincing Diane to voluntarily give up on Jack, making Patty's own path much easier. But Diane isn't someone who gives up easily. Instead of falling into the trap, Diane may decide to use Dr. Markham's own strategy against him. Rather than arguing with every suggestion he makes, she could start agreeing with him. She may pretend that every therapy session is changing her perspective. Little by little, she might convince Dr. Markham that she's finally accepted the end of her marriage. Imagine Diane calmly telling him that she's ready to move on from Jack. She may admit that holding on to the marriage has only brought pain. She could even claim she's looking forward to building a completely new future without her husband. For Dr. Markham, that would sound like the ultimate success story. He would likely believe his therapy has finally broken through Diane's emotional defenses. From his perspective, she'd be making healthy progress and embracing a fresh start, but viewers know Diane is much smarter than that. If this theory proves correct, Diane won't actually mean a single word she's saying. Instead, she'll be performing the role Dr. Markham desperately wants to see. Every smile, every agreement, and every emotional breakthrough could simply be another carefully planned step toward freedom. The beauty of this strategy is that it attacks Dr. Markham's biggest weakness, his ego. People who believe they're changing someone's life often become overconfident. If Dr. Markham starts believing Diane has completely accepted his advice, he may lower his guard. He could become less cautious and more willing to trust her. That trust might create the exact opportunity Diane has been waiting for. However, there's another major complication that could make this storyline even more explosive. What happens if Patty Williams refuses to believe Diane's sudden transformation? Patty has always been unpredictable. Even if Dr. Markham becomes convinced that Diane is finished with Jack forever, Patty may remain deeply suspicious. She could argue that Diane is simply pretending until she gets another chance to reunite with Jack. If Patty refuses to release Diane, serious cracks could begin forming in her alliance with Dr. Markham. At first, both of them may have shared the same objective, but once Diane appears to cooperate, their priorities could suddenly change. Dr. Markham may honestly believe that Diane no longer represents a threat. He could argue that continuing to hold her captive serves no purpose. If she truly wants a divorce and a new life, why keep controlling her? Patty, on the other hand, may see things very differently. Years of obsession have taught Patty not to trust Diane under any circumstances. She could insist that Diane is manipulating everyone around her exactly as she's done before. Patty may even fear that the moment Diane is released, she'll run straight back into Jack's arms. Those conflicting opinions could push Patty and Dr. Markham into direct conflict. Once allies begin questioning each other's judgment, mistakes become much more likely. Arguments could escalate. Secrets could be exposed. Plans could unravel. And Diane may be quietly waiting for exactly that moment. While all of this unfolds behind closed doors, Jack Abbott remains completely unaware of the full danger surrounding his wife, but that doesn't mean he's sitting still. Jack has never stopped caring about Diane, and every passing day increases his determination to find her. His instincts continue telling him something isn't right, and he's unlikely to abandon the search anytime soon. Meanwhile, another member of the Abbott family is preparing to take action. Kyle Abbott also wants to bring his mother home safely. Kyle understands just how important Diane is to their family, and he refuses to stand by while she remains in danger. The possibility of Jack and Kyle joining forces creates another exciting layer to this storyline. Imagine father and son working together, following every clue they can find, while Diane secretly fights her own battle from the inside. One rescue mission would be happening outside. Another escape plan would be unfolding inside. If both efforts collide at exactly the right moment, the payoff could be absolutely unforgettable. Of course, soap operas rarely make things that simple. Even if Diane succeeds in fooling Dr. Markham, unexpected twists could appear at any moment. Patty could discover the deception before Diane escapes. Dr. Markham could realize he's been manipulated. Someone else might unexpectedly stumble onto Diane's location. Every possibility keeps viewers guessing. One thing seems increasingly clear, though. Diane is no helpless victim waiting to be rescued. She's actively studying the people around her, learning their weaknesses, and searching for the perfect opportunity to strike. That determination has always been one of Diane's defining characteristics, and it may become the key to her survival once again. At the same time, Dr. Markham faces his own emotional crossroads. If he truly begins developing sympathy or even deeper feelings for Diane, his professional judgment could completely collapse. Emotional attachment has a way of changing people's decisions, especially when they believe they're helping someone heal. Should that happen, Patty may find herself losing control over the very person she recruited to carry out her plan. Ironically, Patty's greatest weapon could become her greatest liability. The more Dr. Markham believes in Diane's transformation, the harder it becomes for Patty to convince him that Diane deserves to remain imprisoned. That disagreement alone could completely destroy their partnership. And once trust disappears between co-conspirators, everything starts falling apart. As viewers, we're left asking several fascinating questions. Is Diane genuinely one step ahead of everyone? Can she successfully convince Dr. Markham that she's abandoned Jack forever? Will Patty realize the truth before it's too late? Can Jack and Kyle locate Diane before the situation turns deadly? Or will an unexpected betrayal completely change the outcome? The answers are getting closer with every new episode. One thing is certain, this storyline has all the ingredients for a dramatic showdown. Psychological manipulation, emotional deception, family loyalty, dangerous obsessions, and impossible choices are all coming together in a way that promises unforgettable television. Whether Diane escapes through her own brilliant plan or with help from Jack and Kyle, her determination continues to shine through every obstacle placed in her path. For now, she'll likely keep telling Dr. Markham exactly what he wants to hear. She'll smile. She'll agree. She'll pretend she's ready to leave Jack behind forever. But beneath that calm exterior, Diane may be planning the move that changes everything. If her strategy succeeds, Patty and Dr. Markham's alliance could collapse, Jack and Kyle's rescue mission could finally reach its target, and Diane could emerge stronger than ever. The countdown to that explosive moment has officially begun, and Young and the Restless fans won't want to miss a single second of what's coming next.